Hey, how you doing today? Today, we will talk about fossils. We will discover what fossils are, how they are formed, and why they are important.
Before we begin, let us get the words right. Paleontology is the study of fossils. A scientist that studies fossils is called a paleontologist. There are many kinds of paleontologists who work with different kinds of fossils.
What is a fossil? A fossil is a living thing that lived a long time ago. Not just a long time ago, but millions of years ago. The body of the living thing turned into a rock that we call a fossil.
Let us look at an example of how a fossil is formed. This picture shows an Ichthyosaurus. Yup. The Ichthyosaurus lived about 90 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. It was an aquatic reptile and a carnivore that ate other sea animals. The Ichthyosaurus became extinct, but we know it existed because fossils of the animal have been discovered.
I forgot to tell you that the word Ichthyosaurus means fish lizard. The ichthyosaur lives in water. It is a carnivore and eats animals. Unlike other reptiles that lay eggs, it gives live birth to its young. Whoop! The ichthyosaur dies. The body of the dead ichthyosaur sinks to the bottom of the sea. Layers of sand settle on the dead body, forming layers sediments. The heat and pressure in the earth cause the sedimentary layers to harden. The chemicals, called minerals, in the rock change the skeleton of the ichthyosaur into rock. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions cause the earth to push the rock upwards. The earth's surface rises above the sea and the fossil emerges from the surface of the rock. The ichthyosaur fossils are discovered. This process takes millions of years to occur. Yep, and that is how the Ichthyosaurus became a fossil. I wonder, how are fossils found? Most fossils are found by accident. Someone could be walking in the veld or along a beach and see strangely shaped rocks in the ground. Perhaps they will not know that the rocks are fossils. Later, a university may be told about the strange rocks. After studying the rocks, the paleontologists from the university will decide if the strange rocks are fossils. The university will have to get permission to excavate the area for fossils. It may take many years to get the fossils out of the rocks. Excavation of fossils costs a lot of money and can only be done by paleontologists. You have to be very patient to be a paleontologist. Yep, if the fossils are valuable, they may be displayed in a museum for everyone to see. It is rare to find a complete fossil. This is because as the Earth has changed over millions of years, the original fossil may have broken into parts or eroded. The parts of fossils are known as trace fossils. Examples of trace fossils are plant seeds, leaves, animal eggs, or animal footprints. This shows paleontologists that certain creatures lived in that area many millions of years ago. Do fossils have any use for modern life? Fossils tell us about life that existed a very long time ago on planet Earth. This helps us to understand where humans originated from and how our planet has changed. This will help humans to understand how life on Earth will change in the future. Humans are able to plan for the future as they make progress. Fossils help humans to live in a sustainable way. People talk about living fossils. A living fossil is a living thing that exists today but has been around so long that there are fossil records of it. A good example of a living fossil is the coelacanth fish. It was thought that the coelacanth was extinct until a South African scientist discovered that it still exists today. Amazing! How do paleontologists know what ancient plants and animals looked like? Well, the answer to this question is simple: guesswork. The paleontologist looks at the fossil and decides what its habitat may have been like, what it ate, and how it survived. With these ideas, the paleontologist makes a drawing or model of how the fossil may have looked when it was alive. Wowie! So, how do paleontologists know how old a fossil is? Paleontologists use different methods to decide how old a fossil is. One of the methods is called carbon dating. This means that the age of the chemical carbon in a fossil is investigated using certain scientific procedures. This requires a lot of knowledge and skill to do. Haha, what have you learned in this presentation? You have learned the meaning of the words paleontology and paleontologist, trace fossils and the kinds of fossils that can be found, how a fossil forms, such as the fossil of the Ichthyosaurus, the use of fossil discovery, the meaning of the term living fossil, how paleontologists decide how the living thing looked like, how paleontologists decide how old a fossil is. Well, that's it for this lesson. If you learned something new, write it in the comments. You'll also find a link to a cool worksheet in the description. Look out for the video about fossils that have been discovered in South Africa. Hope to see you soon!